That I met him on the courtroom steps in Chicago in 1976. He was with his lawyers, I was with our lawyers, but he decided not to join that lawsuit, the first lawsuit. He was smart. He got a very low-priced, paid-up license. Yeah. He's smart. He's a good operator, a good salesman.
Is it true that he once introduced you to someone else as the father of video games?
Well, I mean, he always claimed to be the father of video games. But, we have his signature on the guest book. We played the ping pong game on May the 27th, I think it was, 1972, at a Magnavox dealership show in Burlingame, California. So, so he played the game, and then he called Alan Alcourt, an engineer, young engineer who had worked with him at Ampex, and brought him in and says, build me a ping pong game. Now, is it logical to assert that the Magnavox ping pong game had nothing to do with the idea for Pong? It just is. The judges didn't buy it. Chicago court didn't buy it. The San Francisco court didn't buy it. The Canadians didn't buy it. So give me a break. But so what? But here's another thing. As far as I'm concerned, history is not history unless you have original paperwork that shows who did what on what day. Because what people tell you may not have anything to do with what happened. In the first place, they may have motives for changing the story a little bit. Right? In the second place, memory is totally unreliable, especially if 4 or 5 years have passed or 10 or 15 years have passed. You can't believe a word you hear. So unless you show me a piece of paper that says, this morning I did this or that, or a schematic or a diagram or a thought, and better yet have a signature on there, better have a date, I don't believe it. Because anybody can make up anything they want. Yeah, and they do. So unless Mr. Bushnell and Associates come up with paper, if there is any. Now, remember, I'm in my 40s when I built the brown box. These guys were 20, 21, 22, 20. Bushnell was 28. They hadn't been around as long as I have. They were not as careful as I am. They didn't have the experience I have. So maybe they made no notes. But so far, we haven't seen a single piece of paper. I gave the Smithsonian over 500 pages of paper and schematics. They just finished digitizing them all. 2 weeks ago, I got a stack of about 32 or 34 CDs with all the scans of all those documents. So you can tell what we were doing on Monday morning, September the 29th. And there's no question as to who did what. And I would really like to see, and I've been pushing people, because I cannot directly talk to Bushnell and others and tell them to find that stuff, and I'm the enemy. I've been trying to get people to collect things and find what there is that hasn't been lost. I know people have early pieces of hardware, and it's in their bedroom or in their closet someplace or in the garage, and it doesn't belong there. It belongs in the museum. Right? I'm an engineer, and the pleasure of building something is more important than the rewards. In fact, when you finish building something, and the question is, what do I build next? It's not so important that you just finish something, there's this wonderful thing. It's more important to find the next thing to work on. The enjoyment is in the building, in the construction. Ich klein war, habe ich mit dem Märklin Baukasten gespielt. Now I play with electronics. Yeah, I'm still working. I'm 84, 84. Jeden Morgen gehe ich runter in mein Laboratorium und mache ich was Neues. I have a product under consideration at Logitech in California. Wenn das geht, das wird mehr Geld geben.
So, any more hints?
Yeah, well, but it's not over until it's over. Inventing is easy if you know how. Designing something is easy if you know how. Selling it, that's the hard part.